He loved her so much. He changed the religion of an entire country. And then, he signed her death warrant. This isn't fiction. This is the story of how Henry VIII destroyed the woman he once called his soulmate, and how her daughter would become greater than them all. In the early 1500s, Henry VIII was the Golden Prince of England. Young, athletic, charismatic, the people adored him. Beside him stood his first queen, Catherine of Aragon. Their marriage began as a fairy tale, but fairy tales in royal courts depend on one thing: a male heir. Catherine gave Henry children, but only one survived infancy, a daughter. No son, and in Tudor England, a daughter was not security, it was risk. Civil war had nearly destroyed England before. Henry became obsessed, because in his mind, without a son, everything could collapse. Then came a woman who would change history, Anne Boleyn. She was not soft, not submissive, not willing to be a secret mistress. She told the king no, and that no made Henry want her more than anything, and promised him something Catherine had not given him: hope for a son. Henry begged the Pope for an annulment. The Pope refused. So Henry did the unthinkable. He broke from the Catholic Church, created the Church of England, crowned himself supreme head, all for one woman. Think about that. A king risking his soul, for love, or was it obsession? In 1533, Anne became queen. For a moment, she had everything, but the court hated her. The people blamed her. Europe watched in shock, and then she gave birth, not to a son, but to a daughter. Her name, Elizabeth I. Henry smiled in public, but privately, his disappointment began to grow, and suffered miscarriages. One was rumored to be a boy. That was the turning point. Henry's love cooled, and another woman appeared in court, Jane Seymour. History was repeating itself. Enter the king's most dangerous ally, Thomas Cromwell. If Henry wanted something erased, Cromwell made it disappear. Suddenly, whispers began. Anne was accused of adultery, with multiple men, even with her own brother. There was no solid proof, but proof wasn't necessary. The trials were quick. The verdict was inevitable: guilty. She was taken to the Tower of London, waiting, watching the river, listening to the sounds of a world that had already moved on. Henry did not visit her. He was planning his next wedding. On May 19, 1536, Anne Boleyn walked to the scaffold. She wore grey, calm, controlled, regal. She did not attack Henry in her final speech. She called him a gentle and merciful prince. Maybe out of fear, maybe out of dignity. A swordsman from France was brought to ensure a swift death. One strike, and the woman who changed England was gone. Within 11 days, Henry married Jane Seymour. Love had ended, power had won. Henry finally got his son, Edward VI, the heir he destroyed his world for. But fate has a dark sense of humor. Edward ruled briefly, then he died young. The Tudor line should have ended, but it didn't, because the daughter Henry once rejected, Elizabeth, took the throne, and she ruled for 44 years. She defeated the mighty Spanish Armada. She stabilized England. She began a golden age. Today, history classes remember Henry, but they admire Elizabeth. The king who killed for a son was immortalized by a daughter. So what was this story really about? Love, ambition, ego, or fear? Henry VIII had everything: power, wealth, authority, but insecurity destroyed him. And Boleyn lost her life, but her bloodline shaped a nation. And maybe that's the cruelest twist of all. The woman he executed won in the end.